Grand Prix. Bagnaia and Marquez have had, what, 4 or 5 aggressive overtakes on this first lap alone. A first lap for the ages here in the Spanish Grand Prix, which will be led by Fabio Quartararo. Bagnaia looking for his 4th successive. And Marquez, the crowd are on their feet outside our main grandstand here. I'm not quite sure they can see what they've seen so far.
Oh. This is MotoGP with a capital M, isn't it? Bagnaia was not going to give that one up with our almighty fight, as there was not a lot of room down the left-hand side, you have to say, but it was on the edge, but it was just about okay. I'm sure if you were in that factory Ducati box, you were watching that with a sort of gap in your fingers and just hoping that the pair of them were going to get through the corner unscathed. They just about managed it.
Well, it was pass or be pass, wasn't it, on that opening lap? As Alex Marquez just, well, he said he had to be aggressive. Oh no, Marc Marquez has crashed! Marc Marquez has crashed out of 3rd place here in the Spanish Grand Prix. It is a second big mistake for Marc in 3 Grand Prix. He was 2.5 seconds clear when he crashed out of the lead in Austin about a month ago, and he has dropped the ball big time once again here. You could hear the moans, you could hear the groans from the Spanish fans in Barcelona and in Madrid. They cannot believe what they've just seen through turn 8. Marc Marquez goes, tries to pick up on his elbow, but he craves into the gravel trap in a cloud of dust. And now this has completely changed the game in terms of the Spanish Grand Prix and the World Championship. Can you believe it?
Well, it's not often I'm speechless, but last time Marc Marquez left an open goal. Can he do the same again?
Here comes Alex. He's going to be aggressive on the inside of Bagnaia into turn 13. That's lovely. That is a beautiful textbook move by Alex on the brakes into that final corner. The crowd are on their feet now, and this would see that's quicker than Miller, Morbidelli, Binder, Costa, Zarco. He's fastened a whole bunch of riders ahead of him. That is Marc Marquez, but he's way down. Oh, no, Fermin Aldeguer's crashed out of podium contention. Well, we saw Marc Marquez crash out of victory contention in COTA. We saw Fermin Aldeguer crash out of top 5 contention in COTA as well. They've both done the same.
Points, which may grow, of course, if riders drop out. So in terms of the World Championship, and his lead in the World Championship is now under some serious threat, Marc Marquez could still salvage some points from this.
Well, he was super apologetic to his Ducati team in Austin. He said it was my mistake. He denied it was overconfidence on that occasion in Austin, but this is going to be one of clearly the major talking points of this Spanish Grand Prix. As he flicked it left into turn 8 at the Jorge Martinez Aspar corner. 3rd gear through there. They cannot believe it, can they? Inside the Ducati Lenovo team garage. They're just as shell-shocked as what we are. How the heck is Marc Marquez doing low 138s with a motorcycle that's just damaging Indonesia 2023 as Marquez picks his way through on Somkiat Chantra? The Lombok Grand Prix in 23 was the last time Quartararo was on the podium. As he mentioned, pre-commentary, although he did briefly lead the sprint yesterday, this is the first time he's led a main Grand Prix since the Sachsenring in 2020.
As we watch the 2 factory KTMs in their battle for 9th place, Quartararo's lead did come down on that lap, and the lead is now gone. Alex Marquez strikes at the start of lap 11.
Alex Marquez decides this is his time. He hits the front here in Jerez, right in front of the Marquez grandstands. Is Alex Marquez then now on course for his first ever MotoGP victory? Of course, decisive in the championship, that move as well on Quartararo.
Yeah, I followed Fabio for long enough. Now is the time to attack, and Alex Marquez attacked ruthlessly and definitively into turn 1, parked it up the inside, and Fabio Quartararo had no choice at that stage but to give it up from there. He was unable to tip it in. You could hear under our voices the huge roar from the grandstand as Alex Marquez's lead is already up to half a second he ever gets. Quartararo and Bagnaia need to just keep the pressure on.
Well, he's been Mr. P2 8 times so far in 2025. Is he finally going to be at Mr. P1 once again? Who's your rider of the race? Well, at the moment, for the 43 Yamaha of Jack Miller, who looks really frustrated. It looks like there's a technical issue in the Grand Prix. That was a 5th place in India a couple of years back, so this is by far... Oh, no!
Down he goes.
Well, there we go. The commentator curse well and truly does strike there, doesn't it, as Joan Mir bites the dust mid-corner through turn 6. How many times have we seen the 27-year-old Spaniard blow golden opportunities of big point-scoring finishes? That is now going to be Mir's 9th DNF in the last 11 Grand Prix.
I wonder whether he was just suckered in there by Frankie Morbidelli, who outbraked himself into turn 6. Mir then followed him in.
Aleix Espargaro.
As we now watch the battle for what is now 16th place, and it wasn't a very long battle, was it, as Marc Marquez goes through into turn 5, which gets a polite round of applause from the fans in the grandstand underneath us. Of course, with Jack Miller dropping out of contention, that moved him one place closer to the point. Of course, you'd have to get all the way up to 10th place if he wanted to retain his World Championship previous occasions. The last of those came in Austin, as we see the battle between Bastianini and Marini, a pair of Italians swapping 9th place. Marini's not getting that one up without an almighty fight. Once again, we are seeing the Sunday salvage job in progress.
To attack, Aleix Espargaro's trying to find a way through on Ralph Fernandez into 6th. He has made it through on entry. He's going to run wide though, is he surely? Marc Marquez almost into the back of Ralph Fernandez. Jack just informing us that Fermin Aldeguer, after his crash out of podium contention at turn 6 earlier on, the Spaniard has called it a day. He has just pitted.
Best form of defence's attack then, I guess, for Aleix Espargaro, as Ralph Fernandez goes wide there through the very same corner that Marc Marquez crashed out at earlier on. Marc Marquez through then into sort of
real sustained attack coming from Bagnaia at all. On that last lap, Bagnaia, to his credit, was about a 10th faster than Quartararo. Marquez then does finally get through on Aleix Espargaro, albeit briefly, in that final corner. Two very experienced, wise old heads here battling it out towards the bottom end of the point scoring places. He's having another dip now on Aleix into the first corner. Is this one going to work out for Marc? He'll just make sure he's got the inside line going into 2. So that is up into P13 for Marc Marquez, and more, very important.
Will improve for Pecco Bagnaia, although he'll stay in 3rd place, 16 points. Of course, with Marc Marquez currently in 13th place, Bagnaia would be 18 points behind Marc Marquez, who in turn would be 2 points behind Alex Marquez. One more lap to go, and this is the scenario that Alex Marquez must have dreamt of as a little boy when he came here through the gates to watch the Spanish Grand Prix as a child. Made his Grand Prix debut here over a decade ago. The biggest 90 seconds of Alex Marquez's life start now.
He is on the biggest 4.4 kilometres of his Grand Prix career. It is just what now, less than 10 corners standing between Alex Marquez and the biggest day, one of the biggest days of his Grand Prix career. Do you feel that he is your rider of the race? Vote now with the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner of your screens. Quartararo, can he cling on to this 2nd place? Alex Marquez hard on the brakes into turn 6, where it nearly all turned to disaster on the first corner. A little bit out of shape on the brakes. Steady on, Alex. But I don't think we can take yet more drama at the end of this Grand Prix. He now goes through into turn 7. Surely now Alex Marquez will be victorious. He will reign in Spain in 2025.
Saw his father, Julian Marquez, in the box. We now look at him. He can